future, we usually think of good things. Flying cars, space elevators. Oh, well, this isn't the future, this is the past, and it's a picture of people dying in the streets of the bubonic plague. But, of course, this doesn't happen now because we have treatments. Or do we? Because now our overuse of these treatments is creating a whole new breed of these antibiotic-resistant bacteria that could possibly one day cause this to happen again. But we need to slow down. What is a bacterial infection? Well, bacteria are microscopic organisms whose only goal is to reproduce. And they need food and shelter to do that, which your body has a lot of. So a lot of bacteria want to live in you. Some of these bacteria are good guests. They help your body do things that it can't do on its own. But some don't really care about that. They trash your body, eat your cells, poop out toxins, and this makes your cells upset. They call in the immune system, and either it wins and kills all the bad bacteria, or the bad bacteria wins and you die. But now we have antibiotics. These are two common antibiotics: penicillin, amoxicillin. You may have been prescribed these at one point, and what they do is they go into your body and they kill the bad bacteria without hurting you. But that isn't the end of the story, because these bacteria aren't exactly defenseless. So when you get prescribed antibiotics, you take the full course, because I know that you're all good citizens. But let's imagine Joe. And Joe is just a kind of crappy person. So when he gets his antibiotic pill bottle, he thinks to himself when there's 3 pills left, oh, I feel good. I don't need these anymore. But what he's just done is let the infection off easy. Now there's more stragglers for the immune system to clean up, and more chance for it to make a mistake. So remember, one bacteria is enough to restart the entire infection. But this time it's different, because that bacteria didn't survive out of random chance. It survived because it was the one best bacteria to deal with the immune system and the antibiotic. So now Joe is having real problems. He goes to the hospital, and they get everything sorted out and make sure he takes his full course of a new antibiotic, and everything's sunshine and rainbows. Or is it? Because when he was at the hospital, it could have been transmitted to his surface, and then transmitted to another person, and then that other person would get a new antibiotic, not take their full course, and the cycle repeats, and now the bacteria has acquired more resistance genes. Or it could spread its resistance genes to other bacteria, because yes, they can do that, even between species. And it's not just our use of antibiotics in human medicine that's doing this. Look at that. I bet it's lemony fresh in there. But in all seriousness, that's nasty, and those turkeys are going to get sick from bacteria if they aren't constantly being fed antibiotics. So what we're doing right now, as we speak, is feeding these turkeys antibiotics. They are going to have more chances for their bacteria to get more resistance to these antibiotics, and they can either jump from the turkey to the human, or they could exchange their genes with another bacteria that can infect humans. But there is a solution. This little guy is a bacteriophage. It is a virus that goes and infects a specific type of bacteria, and if you can put this into you and you have the right one, then it can actually clear a bacterial infection, except there's a lot of reasons why it's actually better than antibiotics, because first of all, these guys are very specialized. They don't hurt you, but they also don't hurt any good bacteria that would have been carpet bombed by, say, an antibiotic. They also can evolve alongside bacteria to counter new defense mechanisms, and there's research that shows that bacteria may have to give up antibiotic resistance to become more resistant to phage attacks. This is a diagram of the bacteriophage. This is the T4. It infects E. coli, which is a contender, definitely in the antibiotic arms race. It is common to pick up in hospitals. So this is the sort of head that contains the genetic material that's going to be injected into the E. coli cell that infects. These leggy things are tail fibers. They help it attach to the outside of the E. coli cell so that the phage can inject its genetic material without problem. And the thing connecting them This is the sheath inside of it. You'll see a sort of hollow needle-like structure. This will actually go through the cell wall so that the bacteriophage DNA can get in. So this is the life cycle. The blue thing is the bacteriophage, and the orange thing with the purple squiggles inside is the bacteria. The bacteriophage attaches itself to the outside of the bacteria and injects its DNA. Now, after this, one of two things can happen. Either one, the DNA gets to work immediately and tells the cell, hey, stop whatever you're doing, we're making more phages until we burst. And that happens. Or the DNA from the phage can incorporate itself into the genome of the bacterium and it will go dormant. The bacteria will continue reproducing as normal, but when there's some sort of environmental stress, say temperature shock, the phage DNA will reactivate in the cell and all of its offspring, and then they will all burst. All things considered, this is why bacteriophages will be a great weapon against antibiotic-resistant infections in the near future.